Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here again. My name is John Pulido. I am the moderator for this fourth master class of this season that we're having this year. We're going to talk about how to use the Echo 2.0 as a tool to plan and carry out our classes, our English language classes. So I would like to welcome everybody. Again, this masterclass is a strategy by the Ministry of Education as part of the International Cooperation Agreement with the British Council and the Ministry of Education, of course. Also, it's part of the Inspiring Teachers 2.0 professional development program and the Contacto Maestro program too. We invite you to check the Contacto Maestro program and depending on this YouTube streaming session on the chat. Please, everybody, welcome. We would like to say hello to you. Please, I know that everybody is participating in the chat already. So let us know where you're from. Let us know the school you're coming from. And please, we invite you to participate. We want to recognize your effort as English teachers. We're coming back to presencialidad. We're working very hard. And this masterclass is intending to give you all the necessary tools that we teachers need to be working on this strategy. So thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. So without further ado, there's something we would like to share with you right now. Pay attention, be pending, be participating. We want you to be engaging in this conversation.
Hello, welcome to this masterclass, dear English teachers. Looking for the most appropriate and meaningful language resources for our classroom. It's something that we have been working on for the last 12 years. Welcome to my masterclass. My name is Jonathan Vela, and I'm going to be sharing with you some ideas to improve, to enrich our classes with collaborative work tasks in order to promote interaction. And when we have interaction, we have communication in our language classroom. The name of the master class is Creating Meaningful Learning Experiences Using All the Resources from Echo Web 2.0. And here we're going to share some ideas to design an action plan in order to select the most appropriate material for our language classroom and visit a bank of resources to enrich our language classroom. This coming Thursday, create meaningful learning experiences using Echo Web 2.0. I will see you there. Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, 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 I'm back again, but this time I'm going to introduce our guest teachers. As you know, we always have a group of English language teachers from elementary school or high school. We really recognize teachers' voices in these master classes. We think that it's not the same if we just had an expert and a moderator like me here speaking and talking about a certain topic or giving you strategies. We really want to give everybody a voice and different areas of Colombia, different cities, municipios, departamentos from our beautiful country. We're inviting teachers every week. So this is not something that we just this is something that we just want to emphasize today. Okay, we have I don't know if production can help me. Martin Emilio. I know we start with I'm sorry, just Derly Lucio Muñoz Rodríguez from Fusagasugá, Cundinamarca. Institución Educativa Municipal Campestre Nuevo Horizonte. Derly, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today. Can you please say hi to our teachers who are watching you through this YouTube streaming session?
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Okay, I guess we're honored to have you here, Derly. It's very good to have somebody for Cundinamarca from Fusagasugá. I guess it's the first time we have something from Busagazuga in this master classes, so it's very good to have you here. Martín Emilio Castañeda López from Río Negro, Antioquia. Institución de
Yes,
Educación
sir.
Normal Superior. Hey, Martín, hey.
Hello,
Say hi.
John. Hello, John Pulido. How are you? How do you feel today? Hi, everybody. Glad to see you here. I'm glad to share this space with you. My name is Martín Castañeda López, English teacher in Normal Superior de María in Río Negro, Antioquia. I'm English teacher in first, second, and third grades and ninth grades students. It's a
Martín,
great pleasure to be here.
Martin, I love your energy. So I guess
Thank you
it's
very
gonna be
much.
a very good master class today. All of you
I
participating,
hope
you
so.
dearly, and of course, as everybody knows, apart from the guest teachers that we have every week, we have our expert today.
Thank you.
And the expert today is Jonathan Vela Saavedra. You saw him in the video at the beginning. Master in English Didactics, and he calls himself an English teaching and learner lover. Jonathan, that some people call you Jonah, but I'm gonna call
Yeah,
you Jonathan.
it's
Man, it's good to have you here, brother.
hello, my friends. How are you doing? I'm so happy and so excited to be part of this masterclass. And well, now that you were talking about me and the introduction, I really love the part that you just mentioned when you say English teaching and learning lover. That's it. That's my presentation. That's what I want to. Because I remember when you were talking to Teacher Rocio, you guys talk about this being a conversation.
It
So in a
is.
conversation, we always have one person just sharing ideas with us. And that's what I want all the teachers to know that we're going to be sharing ideas, John. Thank you very much for the presentation.
That's very good, Jonathan. I really want to emphasize on that. So we invite teachers. You are watching us right now. Please participate. This is a conversation. Everything that you write there is very enriching to us. So we invite you. Remember also register in the upper part of the YouTube chat. There is a blue banner. You can find there a link. Click on that link, and you can register to get your certificate of participation. Jonathan, well, I guess I have this feeling in the environment, Jonathan, that this is going to be a very good masterclass. Besides, we've been talking about for the last year. We've been talking about the eco universe or the eco set of resources. We always have this information. We always encourage teachers to go there to explore the tools. But I guess it was about time to focus on how to take advantage and exploit all the resources that we have in EcoTeams, in this case, to plan, to execute, to carry out the classes, and to get the best out of it. So
Yeah,
I guess it's going to be very good. So
it is.
I would like production to help me with this because this information is very important for you. After that, we start with the first section, challenges and opportunities. Are you with me?
Hola, hello. Queremos darte la bienvenida a un universo lleno de historias, juegos, actividades, radio, videos y muchos recursos. Esto es ECO 2.0. ECO significa English for Colombia y es un universo educativo compuesto por dos grandes estrategias, ECO Radio y ECO Web. ¿Qué es ECO Radio? ECO Radio es una estrategia que incluye dos programas de acuerdo a la edad de los oyentes. Para niños entre 6 y 11 años está ECO Kids, un programa de radio para aprender inglés recorriendo las riquezas naturales y culturales de Colombia. Para jóvenes y adolescentes entre los 12 y 18 años está ECO Teens, un programa que los motiva a construir sueños y proyectos a través del inglés. Ambos programas cuentan con personajes entretenidos y secciones atractivas para cada rango de edad.
Okay, all right. So, first of all, I want to thank all the people who are watching, who are listening, who are in the chat, very active, giving us some ideas. Today, we're going to start with challenges and opportunities. And this is the moment for me to invite all of you to be part of this masterclass. Okay, and I'm going to start with my dear teacher Martin. Teacher Martin, I have a question for you. What do you prefer? Well, first, do you like cooking? Yes or not?
A little, not too much, and I like eating.
Oh, you prefer eating than cooking.
Yeah, but
Oh,
yeah, of course. Go
okay.
ahead.
Now let's think about that moment when you are cooking something and you're
Okay.
tasting what you're cooking. A or B? What do you prefer? You prefer
A for me.
tasting
A for
while
me.
cooking? Really? You go to the
A for
point. You
me.
go to the point.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. And the first invitation for all the teachers who are watching and who are listening, please go to the chat and tell me, please, what you prefer. I prefer tasting while cooking, or I prefer trying only when the dish is served. Hey, Teacher Martin, why B? Why?
Why B or why not? A. I prefer
Ah,
A. I prefer
you
A.
say you prefer tasting while cooking. Why?
Yeah. I guess if you try, I suppose you can add some ingredients in order to improve the food.
Okay, okay, that's a good one. Why do you think I am asking you this question? What is the connection between the master class, EcoWeb, and cooking? What's the connection?
It could be if you while you are knowing, you are investigating your students. I suppose you can add the new contents and try to improve them
There you
to
go.
get the language.
There you go. There you go. That's great. So, this is related to the process, to the teaching and learning process in our class, and
Mhm.
at the moment of evaluating and assessing our students.
Yeah.
Some teachers prefer to do it during the process, and some others prefer to do it right at the end of the process. Hey, John, do we have any answer, any chance in the chat? Do we have people saying A or B? Do we have an answer yet?
50-50.
Oh, no way. No way,
50
John.
50.
Yeah, definitely is something that yeah, I would say mostly 50-50. And basically because when you asked the question,
Yeah,
okay, it was a general thing, but now that
yeah,
you clarify and
yeah.
made the connection with preparing, assessing, and understanding what's going on in your class and being able to be flexible and adapt, add an ingredient or take out something or mix something, I
Mhm.
guess
Yeah.
chances, yeah, many people are, yeah, just like 50-50, and we have more people
Okay.
participating right now. Yes,
Nice,
more
nice,
A's
nice,
now,
nice.
more A's.
More
More
A's.
A.
Nice.
Okay.
So that was because of Martin's influence. I'm sure
Yes,
that
definitely.
everybody's now turning to A because of your influence. So thank you very much. That was the first question. Now we're going to jump to question number two. And in this question, I want to help, or I want to invite my dear teacher Rocio, my super teacher Rocio, to answer this question. Teacher Rocio, what do you take into account at the moment of planning your classes? In other words, how do you plan your classes? Based on what? I'm going to be chatting with my teacher, with my super teacher, Rocio, and I'm going to invite to all the people who are in the chat right now to let us know how you plan your classes. You plan your classes based on, so please tell me, textbooks, internet, social networks, I don't know. Now, Teacher Rocio, this question is for you. What do you take into account at the moment of planning your classes, Teacher Rocio?
Okay, it's an interesting question, yeah? Yes, I try to plan my classes. First of all, taking into account the ages of my students, the previous knowledge of my students, and
Okay.
taking into account this thing, I try to look for material very interesting for them using the different web pages, books. Yes, we can use. Sometimes we use the books. I use the books, and there are a lot of interesting material like technology, something that they can improve or they can rely when you are working.
Good. You, Teacher Rocio, and Teacher Martin, you have given me some amazing answers. He was speaking about assessing students, and now you're speaking about preferences. about getting to know our students before we do something in the class. That's amazing. You're building the master class. You're building the master class. I have another question, but please, all the ones watching, continue in the chat telling us how you plan your classes. I plan my classes based on, because I'm going to ask you question number 3, but it's only for teacher Rocio, and then we're going to go back to John, and John is going to tell us what people are telling in the chat. Teacher Rocio, what are your favorite English teaching resources now?
My favorite English teaching resources, and the social nets. I love to use a lot social nets because students like a lot them. Yes, they like to use the cell phone all of the time and the computer, so we have to take advantage about that. So for that reason, I try to take like an important resource in my classes, the social nets and every technological resource.
That's a good one. Social networks, Facebook, Instagram. When you ask your students to use Facebook in class, they go like, "What, teacher? Are you serious? Yeah, we can have a chat, or we can create something in Facebook." That's a very good resource. Thank you very much. Now, John, what about our friends all around the country watching and listening? What are they saying about I plan my classes based on what?
Jonathan, let me tell you something. People are still answering the previous question.
Okay.
How do they what do they take into account to plan their classes? I must say, for example, Leonardo Monroy says, I plan my classes based on the social context. We have somebody from, oh my God, I have it here. I have a lot of information here. Let me catch up. I plan my classes based on the learning, the context, sometimes following a book or activities. Luz Davera says, I plan my classes based on the students' interests.
Nice.
Okay. And Angelica Benitez says, I take into account the context, the age, which is very important. The context and the age. Yeah, they're still catching up with the previous question.
Hey, John, but that's amazing. So our teachers from the country, English teachers, are speaking about interest, about the age, about students' preferences, what they like, what they don't like, in order to plan their classes. This is very connected to what Rocio and Martin were talking about some minutes ago, and I'm excited. I'm excited, John. I'm excited.
What I take from that, Jonathan, is that we're getting closer to this type of education that takes into account the context and the particularities or the characteristics of the class. And it's not a general thing, right? It's not the same for everybody, okay? But you take into account the age, the context, then the needs, for example. So yes, definitely is that.
Okay, John, thank you very much for sharing everything that people are writing. They are very active. It sounds like people are very active in the chat, and that makes us feel very, very good. John, let people continue chatting with us. I plan my classes based on, because I have a challenge, and this is the challenge that I have for Teacher Martin. Teacher Martin, this is the last question, so we can move to the next section. And it says, look at this wall, Teacher Martin. There is a wall between us as teachers and our students. And the question for you, while people continue in the chat, is how do you climb this wall to reach your students? How do you do it, Martin?
Okay, to attain the students' interest and to get them, I try to do work in their interest. Try to take to the classroom different activities, but that these activities are to the interest of the students. For example, we are talking about fashion, or we are talking about globalization, or many other topics present in, for example, in Way to Go. It's a book from ECO, from Ministerio de Educación Nacional. It's very good. Sure. There are many activities that help us to obtain the interest of the students.
Good, Martin. Teacher Martin, so listen, all the answers that you, the teacher Rocio, and all the teachers in the chat, this is what we are talking about. We're talking about, number one, diagnosing our students, getting to know our students. Number two, we're speaking about looking for appropriate resources for our language classroom. And finally,
Yes.
what we can do with those resources in our class in order to reach, to promote communication with our
Jonah,
students in class. Yes, sir.
yes, the basic learning rise brings some different activities that they are from to the interest of the students. They are interesting, and as a teacher, we should present them in an interesting way to be applying the classroom.
Okay. Thank you, Martin. Thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
those amazing ideas you're sharing with all of us. And now we're going to be done with this first part, but I would like to listen from John. You know, remember that John is like our bridge between all the teachers out there watching, interacting, chatting, and us here. John, do you have something for us?
Yeah, I'm a bridge. I'm a bridge also to help cross that wall that you have there. Okay,
Nice.
we are all English teachers. Okay. Ligia Ortega Rosero, she says that she plans her classes based on students' personal experiences. Okay. We have Fernando Soler says, I take into account, bueno, I mean, answering the previous question, familiar topics to the students. But Gladys Morales says that she uses, and I see that very common here in the chat, videos, resources, video resources, audio songs, like audiovisual resources. I would categorize that as audiovisual resources. And I guess that would be very, very, very common. I have teacher Patricia Barrios, Jonathan, and she says, I plan my classes and I use posters, flashcards, songs. I make chants using vocabulary, I guess, chanting for elementary school. And Maura Fuentes, I plan my classes based on the previous question, based on the students' needs. And I try to look for something interesting, activities on books, activities on web pages. And I try to involve games in order to make my classes more dynamic. But this is what we have, Jonathan. Jonathan, you know that
Yeah.
Based on what they're saying, Echo Web or Echo 2.0 has plenty of activities and plenty of resources connected to what the teachers are saying. The use of technology, the use of audio, video, interactive activities, okay, or interactive resources, or resources that help us have a great variety of options to choose from according to the age, according to the students' interests and general familiar topics for them. So I guess we're on the right track. What do you think, Jonathan?
Yeah. I was going to tell you this. Can you please tell those teachers speaking about audios, about songs, about music, about recordings in class to stay please until the end of the presentation? Because if that's what you use for your class, this master class is perfect for you. Okay. So please, that teacher, thank you very much for the comment, but stay until the end, please, because at the end we're going to ask you a question. Okay. Thank you, John, very much.
Jonathan, it's also very important to remind teachers that they can get a certificate on this from this masterclass. And please, teachers, go on the YouTube chat, on the upper part of the chat, you will find a banner, okay? And there is a link there. You click on the link and you register, or you just type your information, your name and other things, and you will get your certificate. And please stay until the end. Get your questions ready. We're eager to answer those questions.
Sure.
Jonathan, we're coming just to our next section. Okay.
Let's go. Let's go to our next section.
Ready to
yes, we are.
This teaching toolbox that you have for us today?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Let's go.
Okay, so we're going to start with our first technique, and this is my favorite part of the master classes. I am a fan of master classes. Last year, I spent every Thursday looking at the master classes, working with John, and I also had the opportunity to be in one master class. Now, this is, for me, my favorite part. We're going to start with the teaching technique number one. The teaching technique number one, it's getting to know my students. getting to know my students. So I'm going to ask this question to everybody, including my teachers who are right here, Rocio and Martin. And it is this one. Teachers, for all of you, for all the people who are watching, for all the English teachers, I have a question for you. How do you diagnose your students at the beginning of a new learning unit? So teacher Martin and teacher Rocio, please, this is the question for you, but it is also for all the ones who are watching right now. Please go to the chat and using the hashtag I use, please tell us or let us know how you diagnose your students. And let's start with the super teacher Rocio. Teacher Rocio, how do you diagnose your students at the beginning?
Okay, thank you. First of all, taking into account the previous knowledge of my students, I have to analyze how is each one of them and their interests and many things more. So I think that is the most important way to diagnose my students.
Okay, very good. That's a very good answer. What about Martin?
Okay, about this question, I used to do some activities to know the previous knowledge of the students, or I can do a kind of test to know what level they are in.
That's
That way,
amazing.
I recognize what the strengths or the weaknesses.
So in all words, imagine that teacher Martin and teacher Rocio, you are people in the chat and you're going to tell us something like this. Hashtag I use and summarize the answer. Let's start with Rocio. That is a challenge that I have for you, teacher Rocio.
Okay.
Hashtag I use and you give me the answer. Yes. Teacher Rocio.
I use different tests in order to recognize, to diagnose my students, to recognize their knowledge. Habitually, I want to know about the vocabulary, knowledge about vocabulary, because I think that is one of the most important things, and one of the big fallacies that our students have.
Nice. Thank you, teacher Rocio, very much. Martin, hashtag I use.
Okay, hashtag I use some different activities on the board, and also some English test to know the previous knowledge of the student.
Amazing. Because this is what we usually do, what we English teachers do in our classes, using tests or activities or listening exercises, or just by speaking, maybe an oral presentation. That's what I use. That's an example, okay? And thank you for sharing with us all those ideas. They are going to be very useful. And I am asking you this question because I'm not going to give you the answer yet, because we're going to ask John, John, do you have something in the chat? Maybe people are telling us what they use to diagnose their students or what they use to test students at the beginning. John?
Hey, Jonathan, yes, we have 3, 4, 5 messages here. We have more, of course, but we are just choosing some of them. Andrea Medellin Herrera, hashtag I use a test. Okay. Gladys Morales, hashtag I use a rubric or a diagnostic exam. Nice. I have Jackie Pardo, let me see. I use warming up activities. Okay, that's a very good thing, because it's not only just to connect with the students or break the ice, but also an opportunity for diagnosing. Angelica Benitez Cervantes, hashtag I use brainstorming activities or diagnostic exams. So we are on that thread of thought with the teachers. Teachers, thank you for participating.
And you know what, John? This is very connected to the question number 1. Remember the first question? How do you cook? Remember, when you're cooking, you taste while cooking, or you do it? So look at the teachers. They are connecting that question with the first technique. Thank you very much, John, and thank you very much to all the teachers. And we're speaking about diagnosing our students, because for us, as English teachers, being aware of what our students can do at the beginning of the unit, at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the period, at the beginning of our course, that will help us set the course of action. In other words, if we are aware of our students' level, about their preferences, about their reading, listening, speaking, and writing skills level, we're going to be able to set an action plan for our whole semester, year, unit, or period. And this is the first invitation that I have for you. The first invitation for all the teachers who are watching, who are listening, who are being part of this amazing masterclass is to go to Google and Google EcoWeb. When you Google EcoWeb, you're going to find, look at this, you're going to find a toolkit, you're going to find resources, you're going to find exams, you're going to find listening activities, you're going to find information related to the Be the One Challenge app, related to Eco Kids, Eco Teens, learning guides, a lot of material. But in our first technique, we're going to make emphasis on this. We're going to make emphasis on evaluation tools. Because in EcoWeb 2.0, or I'm going to call this the Eco Universe. This is not like the cartoons, like the Marvel Universe or something like this. No, this is the EcoWeb resources or the Eco world. Because in here, remember teachers that our first technique is related to assessing our students. And when you visit Eco and you go to the evaluation tools, you're going to find different tests, different exams to diagnose my students. And there is a protocol for us, for English teachers, that it says, teachers, listen, if you want to use one of those tests, there are many tests, but if you want to use one, we're going to give you some recommendations. Number one, think about the number of hours that your students have been exposed to in order to select the most appropriate exam for your students. So I'm going to give you an example. I am working with 9th grade and I start counting. My students already went through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. It means that they were exposed to the language, it's an example, for about 100, 150 hours. Okay, so based on this protocol, I'm going to select the most appropriate test, an A1 test, an A2, or a B1. That is the recommendation number one, to select the most appropriate test for our classes. But number two, we have another option. If you don't know the amount of hours, for example, you don't know the hours that they have been exposed to, you can use the can-do statements, a checklist based on the Common European Framework reference to select the most appropriate test for your students. And I'm going to give you an example. Here you have reading comprehension. So if you start, for example, you take A1 exam. I'm going to implement an A1 exam in my class. And then you start like, they can do this, they can do this, and they can do this. And here it says, if your students can do 60% of these statements, so that is not the test for your class. So you say, oh, okay, A1 is not going to be the appropriate test for my class. So I'm going to use an A2. And then when you already know the kind of exam that you're going to implement for your class, what you do is you go to EcoWeb and you take the test. This is my example. For my class, I took an A2.2 test from EcoWeb resources. And following the teacher's evaluation toolkit, I went to my language classroom, I took the test, I administered the test to my students, and guess what? I have absolutely everything. I have the text, I have the audios, I have the answer key, and even the protocol for me as an English teacher to know the level of my students. So I can design an action plan. And this is something that you can see here. Look, in the protocol, using the protocol, it says it allows you to understand how to administer the test, and the best part, how to analyze the results so you can design your action plan for the whole period or for the whole year. That's amazing. I'm going to show you my example, but before I do it, I want all the teachers who are watching this program, this amazing masterclass right now, including teacher Martin and teacher Rocio, to think about your students. Think about 1st grade, 9th, 10th, 6th, any grade. And think about at that class, that last class that you had with your students, and what is the most challenging skill for your students, okay? And I'm going to start with teacher Martin. Teacher Martin, please. We don't have to administer a test right now, but just by considering, by thinking about your students, what's the most challenging, that skill that is challenging for your students?
Okay, Jonah, at this moment, for example, at this moment in class 9th grade, we are doing some expositions about inequities presented in the rights, in the level rights that of English. And at this moment, they present a lot of problems in order to pose to talk in front of the classmates.
Okay,
They too shy in the communicative skill. They present a lot of problems. It's very difficult for them.
okay.
In my case,
Okay, so the invitation now, Martin, is for all the
yes,
teachers who work like you, like me. We have a bunch of students in our language classroom. The invitation for everybody is please share with us. Hashtag the
the
most
most. Okay,
challenging skill is. And I'm
okay,
going to continue with Martin. So, Martin,
yeah,
according to your group, according to your context, to
hmm,
group of students, so it
yep,
is the most challenging.
yeah. The
I don't
mo
like to call it like the problem, but the one that they have to work really hard
yeah
on. Is the most
the
challenging is
most challenging is the
speaking.
speaking skill.
Nice, nice. That's amazing. That's amazing. Don't you
Yes,
think that you as a
yes,
teacher,
man.
you already know that there is a challenge in your class, and that
Yeah,
challenge is in terms of oral production,
and it's an
speaking,
opportunity.
communication,
Yeah,
an opportunity. Very
and
good.
it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but it's an opportunity too. Yeah.
So the invitation for Martin and for all the teachers, well, some people are in the chat right now, but the invitation is from your perspective is listening, is speaking. I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
oral production. But now, teacher Martin, you can go to Echo Web Universe, to the Echo Universe, and you can select one test, administer the test, and analyze the results. And then you're going to find, oh, wow, yeah, it's oral
Okay.
production. Or maybe it was listening. Or maybe, okay, so in your opinion, number one is listening. How about number two? What would be the second like challenging skill?
The second challenging will
Skill?
be the listening
Okay,
skill. Yeah,
okay,
because
good. And
they are not used to they aren't used to they don't used to talk, continue and listening in an English environment. For that reason,
nice.
it's sometimes it's difficult.
Good,
But the
good. So
idea
number
is try
one,
to do. Mhm.
okay, so number one, oral production. Number
Oral
two,
production,
listening.
listening. Mhm.
Good, good. Continue, please, in the chat. The most challenging skill in my class is, so which one? And now we're going to go to teacher Rocio. Teacher Rocio. So remember, Martin in his classes, in his group, speaking oral production is a challenging skill. How about you?
Hashtag the most challenging skill for my student is listening. I think that to adapt the ear to a new language for them is not easy. All of the time, I think that listening is the first skill that students or all of the people have to develop.
Okay,
Yes, for
good.
me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Teacher Rocio. So, in Martin's classroom, speaking oral production is the most challenging skill. In Rocio's class, the most challenging skill is listening. Wow, this is amazing because this class, this master class, is perfect for you. In our second technique, we're going to speak about resources. Now, we're going to ask John, Teacher Rocio, if you allow me, we're going to see what our friends, our classmates, our peers, our English teachers are writing in the chat. The most challenging skill is, John, tell me please.
Jonathan, I guess we have a winner. That is our production speaking.
There you go.
We were discussing this here on the chat, but we have other teachers. For example, I'm just to mention the teachers because we honor them too here. Carlos Norberto Alvarez speaking, Elkin Jose Acosta, the most challenging skill speaking, as well as Marisol Vallejo, Luz Davera. But we also have other participants saying, for example, Leida Leonor Solano, the most challenging is writing.
Right.
Most of them speaking, and
Okay.
this teacher, Aleida Leonor, says writing. I agree with Aleida Leonor.
Okay.
I consider,
Writing.
from my experience as a learner and as a teacher, that
Okay.
writing is one of the most complex abilities to develop. All right. Writing well, I mean, not just writing a word, but writing in all its extent, in the extent of the word. I guess it requires a lot of effort. Carolina Campos says reading. They don't take
Okay.
time to really understand a text. That's why they get low scored in tests.
Okay.
And we have other teachers saying that they're listening, for example, or writing or reading. Most of them say speaking, Jonathan.
Nice. Thank you very much, John. And I
Thank
was
you to the
asking you,
teachers.
yeah, and thank you to the teachers as well. And I'm asking you this question. I am asking you about the most difficult skill or the most challenging skill because John, Martin, Rocio, and teachers, I took one of the tests from Eco Universe. I administered the test, and based on the teacher's protocol, I analyzed the results. And this is what I found. Look, in reading, 70% of my students got 90%, 90 points out of 100. In writing, 75 points out of 100. That was good. And speaking, 70 out of 100. But guess what? Based on the results that I obtained, 90% of my students obtain 50 points out of 100. It means, in other words, that the most challenging skill, according to the test that I implemented in my class, is, of course, listening, right? And this is the best part of the technique number one, teaching technique number one. This is what I want to share with you guys. Dear teachers, English teachers, I want to share with you an action plan for English teachers. This is my action plan based on the results from the test. Number one, listening. That is the component, that is the challenging skill. What is the situation? 90% of my students obtain 50 points out of 100, but I need to establish an objective, a goal for my class. And I want that at least 80% of my students can obtain 80 points out of 100 by the end. So what are going to be the strategies? I'm going to bring at least one listening exercise every class. I'm going to assign listening homework after each class. And finally, I'm going to implement different listening exercises in every class, like radio shows, like podcasts, like talks. So an action plan will help me a lot based on the results to do an action plan and to establish the rules of my class. John, what do you think? Teacher Rocio and Teacher Martin, would you like to implement an action plan in your classes based on the results of the test? What do you think?
Oh, Jonathan, I guess this is the way to go. I mean, this is how it is supposed to be done, and I really appreciate that you're bringing this up in this master class, because learning is not something that just happens out of the blue, right?
Okay.
Learning is connected to very intentional, conscious, and organized way of delivering a class. That's what we call planning. And the way you present it here, I guess, gives us a lot of light about how to take advantage of a test
Yeah.
in order to understand what's happening. This is like cooking, right? This is like testing the food while you're cooking,
There you go.
and you get the sense of, I guess, this assessment, this ongoing process in teaching. I guess this is key. What you're bringing here up, it's absolutely key for this, for taking advantage of the resources.
Okay. Teacher Rocio, would you implement an action plan? Thank you very much, John, for your comment, for your recommendation. Teacher Rocio.
Of course. I want to do an action plan for my students, for my classes. I want to do it.
Nice. What about Martin? Would you like to implement an action plan?
Of course, I'm eager to do it. Sometimes I use some rubrics, but these sound more interesting because I can focus in one of the skills the student is failing.
Okay.
Okay, or the students are failing.
Okay, thank you very much, Martin, for the
you're
comments, and Rocio. It's amazing to have this exchange of information from Rio Negro, Antioquia, to Fusagasugá, Cundinamarca, and for every single place in our country, we have our teachers discussing and talking about this. This is amazing. Thank you very much, guys. And teachers, we're going to jump. So remember, technique number one, teaching technique number one, diagnosing our students, implementing a test from EcoWeb, and then designing my own action plan for my class. Now that I know the action plan, I need to jump to technique number two, because in technique number two, I'm going to be working on the resources, the material for my class. This is what I need to do. based on the action plan. Now I'm going to look for the most appropriate resources for my class. And this is why the name of the teaching technique number 2, it's a whole new world of resources. But before I do this, or before I explain this, I want to invite all of you, all the ones who are watching and who are listening right now, to use the hashtag I use resources from. Resources from. Now, when we're speaking about resources, we're speaking about, it can be authentic material, it can be made material. What are the resources that you use for your class? Okay, and this is the comment. Look what it says. It says, once you get to know your students' needs and preferences, their likes and dislikes, where do you get your material or your resources from? Hashtag. And I'm going to ask this question to my dear teacher, my super teacher, Rocio. Teacher Rocio, where do you get your resources from?
No, after listening to you, I'm so fascinated with the presentation of Eco Web 2.0. So now I'm going to look all of the time in this app.
Okay, and before, what about before knowing about Eco Web? Maybe you
Right.
went to, yeah, where did you get the resources from? Maybe Realia, like using real newspapers, Caesars, magazines. Where did you get your resources for your class from?
Yes, I get my resources from magazines. I like to use magazines a lot. Yes,
Nice.
because the idea that the students read, and if they look at images, they can infer information and try to analyze them and try to talk about them. Yes. Also, to get from songs, I like to use songs in order the students improve the listening skill too. And many resources more.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Rocio. So magazines, maybe cutting in class, pasting, that is something that it will never be old school. It will never be old school. On the contrary, students love doing like crafting in the class, doing something different in the class. Now, how about Teacher Martin? Where do you get your resources to enrich your classes from? And for the ones watching, remember, go to the chat. I use resources from. Teacher Martin.
Okay, I used resources from books, flashcards, movies, songs, and since 1 year ago, I have used resources from the book, for example, Way to Go, or English, please. We have some interesting things. Also from the basic learning rights books, and now we have another place in order to get a lot of resources provided by the Ministerio de Educación Nacional. Colombia Bilingüe is a terrific tool in order to enrich our materials to the students.
Nice. And I'm asking you this question because one of my favorite authors is Gardner. And when you read about Gardner, you know that he says that at the moment of adapting, not only adopting, but also taking that material and adapting that material to my class. It says adapting appropriate resources will enhance my students' motivation, and not only to learn, but also to acquire the target language. And we were speaking about listening. Teacher Rocio was speaking about listening. Teacher Martin was speaking about listening. Some other people were speaking in the chat about reading. Those are the skills that we need to improve, to enhance, to have an impact on in our classes. And Gardner says that as English teachers, we need to implement activities and resources to have an impact on the different learning styles or the multiple intelligences. But also we teachers have to implement material to have an impact on listening, reading, writing, and speaking, the four skills, the four language skills. Another favorite author that I have is Carino, and he says this is the reason why we need to explore resources. So start thinking about all the material, all the resources that I can find in ECO, and look at this theory. He says, look, number one, resources are a source of input, material to help our students develop learning, but they are also a source for the teachers and for the students to go beyond the classroom, but they are also output. interaction, collaboration, and communication in the class. They are for us teachers to help our students advance, learn step by step, and finally, because it is for us as English teacher to reflect. It says it is written resources related to critical thinking, to have conclusions in class, to have reflective students. So this is amazing. This is amazing. And look at this picture. I wish you guys could see the effect that there was in this picture, because the idea was to go to step number one again, step number two again, but then boom, we are going to find a bunch of resources for my class to enrich my classes. That this is something that is, I'm going to be like, my classes are not going to be the same after looking at all the material that I have here. This is just a review. Let me show you. When you guys go to Echo, you're going to find Echo Radio, Echo Web, Be the One. You're going to find textbooks that Teacher Martin is always speaking about, the textbooks, and I'm so excited that you use the textbooks, but also the National ELT Resources Repository. That's something that is going to give you a bunch of materials and resources to improve your classes. That my invitation today to all the teachers who are watching and listening right now is to go to Echo. For example, remember that in technique number one, I found that listening was the most challenging skill for my classes. So when I go to Echo, I'm going to find videos. I'm going to find listening exercises. I'm going to find all the audios from the Way to Go books, from the English Please. So this is like, I'm not going to have any excuse now from now on to go to my classroom and implement resources and material for listening, for speaking, for reading, and for writing, and something that is going to be very, very meaningful for my class. Now, to finish this technique number two, and for everybody, I want you to start thinking about this. Please go to the chat and answer this. Hashtag accurate resources are. Accurate resources are. And I'm going to tell you why. When we speak about resources, and when we speak about the whole world, the whole, or this bunch of material that we have of resources, it is important for us as teachers to evaluate that material, to look at the material from the teacher perspective and thinking about our students, because we need to select the best material for our students. And the proposal, or what I want to share with you guys today, English teachers, is a rubric to evaluate the most appropriate material for my class, because it says it allows you to select the most appropriate resources for your learners, resources that are going to motivate them to learn. Now, Martin, Teacher Martin, and Teacher Rocio, I want to ask you a question. Remember, all the ones who are watching and listening right now, go to the chat, hashtag accurate, appropriate resources are. You can say appropriate or accurate resources are. Teacher Martin, have you ever thought about evaluating, not my students, no, the material that I'm going to select for my class? Have you ever thought about it?
I was thinking about it at this moment. I think sometimes as a teacher, we should observe what kind of materials are we using in the classroom. Sometimes for some students, that material is useful because their interest, because the skill, for example, or reading or speaking is good. But sometimes another materials don't work for some students. For that reason, I suppose, I guess, I consider it's good to know new places in order to look for new materials. Yeah, and I have seen some good materials in Echo and also in the book that I used to work with, Way to Go and English Please. There are many materials, and they provide a lot of good activities.
Okay, Teacher Martin, we're speaking about interaction, about communication, about collaborative work. Why don't you ask the same question to Teacher Rocio? What do you think?
Okay, can you show me the hashtag, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. Wow, I really love your positive attitude. That's the best.
Okay, Teacher Rocio. Okay, Teacher Rocio, What are the more the accurate resource you use in your classroom? What do you think about it?
Okay, I have evaluated, yes, the, the use of my material, because sometimes when I prepare material, I can see that it don't give me the result that I want. So I try to improve it. I try to change. I try to look the interests of my students, and
Okay.
according to this, I try to use the material according to this. So day by day, I try to improve it. Yes, and because we want to get the best level of the students.
Okay, thank you, Martin, and thank you, Rocio, very much.
You're welcome.
We're speaking about resources and material, but evaluating that material so I can select the most appropriate resources and material for my class. And this is a rubric that I want to share with you today, English teachers, dear friends. I want to give you something that when you visit, for example, Teacher Martin is surprised with everything that we can find in ECHO. So you go to ECHO, or you can go to any other source to look for the information or for the material for your class, and you can implement this rubric. It's only 4 segments here, but at the end, I'm going to show you the full rubric. In order to select the best material for my class, because if we do it, if we evaluate the material, we are going to find accurate resources. So please, everybody in the chat, remember, hashtag accurate resources are. And Teacher Martin and Teacher Rocio, while people are in the chat, because they are very active in the chat, they are writing, they are saying hello to you, they are very excited about having you here in the masterclass. Let me show you this information related to the action plan. Remember my action plan? Action plan from the beginning, from the technique number 1, but here you can see something extra. It is in these strategies, I'm going to evaluate resources based on the rubric. In that way, our action plan is going to have my objective, but also the rubric that I'm going to use to select the most appropriate and accurate resources for my class. Teacher Martin and Teacher Rocio, would you like to know about John? John has been, maybe I don't know what John is doing. You know what John is doing?
Yeah, let's see what John said.
You know what? You want to know what I'm really doing?
Yeah.
Trying to catch up with all the messages on the chat.
No way. Are you serious?
And I got comments from the previous question and this hashtag. So
nice.
Carlos Norberto Alvarez Cruz says, hashtag I use resources from Way to Go.
Okay.
Perfect. English, please.
Okay.
Echo and Behind the News. Fabio Castro says, I use Way to Go and English, please, too. Fabio Danilo Avila says, accurate resources are, hashtag accurate resources are, those that fill out our learners' needs. That's a very good answer. Elkin Jose Acosta says, accurate resources are the, I'm repeating, I'm sorry. Claudia Biaffa, resources, okay. ICT and materials for the students. Fabio Castro, real material, according to students' needs and interests. Accurate resources are materials like rubrics, checklists, and games. Accurate resources are those according to my students' level. Hey, that's a very good thing that we've been mentioning, right? The students' level. So yes, there we are. Teachers participating on the chat and building up with this conversation.
Yeah, thank you, John. Teacher Martin and Teacher Rocio. If you guys go to the chat, I don't know if you have the possibility, but listening to John, we can tell from the bottom of our hearts and from everything that John has been sharing with us, that we English teachers from Colombia are very creative. We are very creative. We have a bunch of ideas. We have a different ways to teach our classes. And John, I don't know what you think, but with those comments, I feel like I'm very proud of the English teachers from my country.
Very good.
Me too. We're
very good.
Proud of them, taking into account the context, the interest, the age, the level, adapting material, like you said, not only adopting but adapting, and giving the best for them. Of course, Echo Universe has a lot to offer, and that's what we're here for, to let them know, to open up to new opportunities and possibilities for them to improve the resources, and of course, the materials they use.
Yes, Teacher Martin, you were
Also,
going to say something.
also about the students' needs, interests, and needs, because we should think about the PR that we are talking about. We are in La Normal. We are talking about at this moment with the support teacher. Take into account the students with the special needs. So the PR are important. In that case, English teachers should take into account the needs of the students in this case.
Okay. Hey, before we go to the technique number 3, I want Teacher Martin and Teacher Rocio to think about this. So technique number 1 was about going to ECHO and selecting the appropriate test for my students, designing an action plan, and then technique number 2, going to this whole new world of resources and select the most appropriate resources to match this. Teacher Rocio from Fusagasugá, Teacher Martin from Rio Negro, thinking about La Normal Superior, thinking about your school, Teacher Rocio. Is it possible to invite our English teachers mates to do something like this? Tell me the truth, please.
Of course, I think that it is possible to invite them to apply this. So for that reason, I want to create an action plan for them.
Nice, 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 nice. Martin.
Yes, of course. All the teachers are invited to explore and to visit the pages, and also to see the book. In my case, I discovered a lot of activities and different topics that they are to the interest of the students, and in that way we can do many things that to improve their English in our students.
Nice, nice. Thank you very much. I'm very excited about technique number 1 and technique number 2. So I'm going to jump to technique number 3, but I don't want you to go. I don't want Teacher Martin and Teacher Rocio to go. I want you to stay here because it's my invitation to work together, and the invitation to all the teachers who are watching the master class, who are listening, who are maybe driving the car, who are in a meeting, anywhere where you are watching and listening. My invitation is to work together. Okay. So look at this, Teacher Martin and Teacher Rocio. Number 1, evaluating our students. Number 2, looking for appropriate resources. Now we have the resources. What are we going to do with the resources? We're going to help our students to work together. You know why? Because collaboration, collaborative work, it's trending. It's what our students are requiring. And I want you to stay, Martin, and I want you to stay, Rocio, here with me, because I want to work with you in a very collaborative work. And I want to describe this for you. But before I explain, before I describe everything related to collaborative work, I want to invite all of you, all the people who are watching right now, go to the chat, hashtag collaborative work is. Just give me your opinion. Give us your opinion. And I'm going to listen to Martin and Rocio. What's your opinion about collaborative work? What can you tell me? Collaborative work is?
Ladies first, you want it?
Yes. If you want. Collaborative work is when we can work together, when we can give ideas, we can dialogue, we can give opportunities to others, listen to others, and create build new things.
Okay, that's a good answer. Collaborative work is all the things that she said. Now, what about Martin? Collaborative work is?
Collaborative work is when we assume the challenges together, when we are able to walk together, as Martin Luther King says.
Wow.
We need the other to walk next to him, or next to her. Nice, we need each other.
And I'm going to split this last technique number 3. Remember, it's let's work together. I'm going to split it into 3 different concepts. Number 1, teachers, remember that we have the resources. Now, what are we going to do with the resources? We're going to take this into account. Collaborative tasks for our language classroom. Number 2, providing interaction models. We are speaking about collaborative work, about interaction, but give me examples, please. Jonathan, give me examples, give me models. And finally, number 3, look at the picture. Can you see this picture here? That is Jonathan Vela jumping, because number 3 is that interaction is the springboard to communication. And remember this wall? Teacher Martin, do you remember this wall?
Yes, of course.
Where did you see this wall? Where?
At the beginning, and when you don't know the style or the previous knowledge of the students,
Good.
it's a barrier. It's a barrier.
Yeah. You were describing this as a wall. This is going to help us jump that board. Okay, that one. I'm sorry. So let's go to the first one. Oh, wait. Teacher Martin and Teacher Rocio, would you like to know what people are writing in the chat about collaborative work?
Of course.
Let's see. Teacher Martin, help me, please. Ask John. John, how is everything in the chat?
John, help us to show us and comment us about the chats, about the participants or the teacher who are able to they are ready to participate. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what I like about this masterclass is the energy and the connection we all have. I have Carol Hernandez Rojas. Hashtag collaborative work is the best way to share ideas and experiences to create new learning possibilities in our context.
Okay.
I would say in Spanish, hágame el favor. That's a very good
Yeah.
That's a very, very good definition, because you have sharing ideas and experiences in order to create new possibilities in a context.
Okay.
So I like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Marisol Vallejo, collaborative work is sharing ideas, opinions, and experiences. Luz Davera is effective learning. I like that one too. Daniel Franco Spina is building knowledge together and developing meaningful skills. And you know
Nice.
what I would add to that is that
Yeah.
besides learning the language, you are developing other skills, like taking turns, like respecting others' words, like working together and putting together the best skills you have to accomplish a task, for example. You are developing responsibility. You are developing other types of the so-called 21st century skills, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
John, it related with the citizen competence.
Yes, definitely.
There you go.
Citizenship.
There you go.
This citizenship.
Very good.
Jenny says,
John, wait,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Can I challenge you to do something? I have a challenge for all of you. This is the challenge.
bring it on, come on.
John is going to select one comment, any comment, hashtag collaborative work case. John is going to read the comment, and then Rocio first, ladies first, of course. You're saying, for example, John says, for example, Juan Camilo from Armenia Quindío says, hashtag collaborative work is this. And then Rocio is going to reply to Juan Camilo. So Rocio is going to be like, hey, Juan Camilo, thank you for the answer, or I am in agreement with your answer. I consider this. Are you up to the challenge, Martin and Rocio?
Ready. I'm ready. No problem.
Good. Remember, we're working together. So John, comment number 1.
Andrea Medellin Herrera. I don't know where she is from, but if she
Andrea.
can tell us from the chat, Andrea Medellin Herrera says, hashtag collaborative work is, pay attention to this,
Okay.
given opportunity to learn by teams in order to get a common goal.
Okay. Learning by teams to achieve the common goal. Martin or Rocio? Who's going to answer to, I can't remember her last name, Medellin. But what is her name?
Andrea.
Medellin Herrera.
Andrea.
Medellin Herrera.
Martin or Rocio? Who's going to reply? I guess
I have no problem. Okay, I have no problem. Yes, work together is a way to understand the other and to work with the other and help to grow. I as I work with the other, both grow up, and it's a terrific, wonderful statement. Thank you, Andrea.
Okay.
Thank you, Andrea.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Teacher Rocio, now it is your turn. Listen to John.
Okay, I have Jenny.
Jenny.
Jenny, she says, collaborative work is when everyone participates and their ideas and opinions are taken into account to get a common goal.
Jenny, right?
Jenny.
Do we know where Jenny is from? No.
We don't, and she has Jenny AC. We have no more
Jenny.
information.
Jenny. Teacher Rocio, what can you tell Jenny?
Totally, Jenny. Totally, I'm agree. I think that collaborative work is this: is listen to the other people. Is try to grow up with the opinions of the other people. Excellent your answer. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm feeling really excited. I don't know if you
Jonathan.
can see my face. Yes, John.
We have Andrea Medellin Herrera's information. She immediately texted us. I am from Bogota. I work in Suacha, Cundinamarca. Thank you, Andrea.
Nice. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea, very much.
She works near Rocio.
Yes,
What about
it's near to
Jenny?
me.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm super excited. I feel very good, and I want to thank all the teachers who are being part of this. We wish all of you could be here. We have only this spot for Martin and Rocio. We're excited to have Martin and Rocio, and this is just amazing. So I'm going to move on. I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry, Rocio. I'm sorry, Martin. But sometimes I get excited, so but it's okay.
No
So
problem.
let's go to the first
It's good. It's good. It's good for the conference. No problem.
one. Okay. So
Very
we're going
good.
to jump to number one: collaborative tasks for the language classroom. In here, I want to invite all of you to do this. Set up tasks that can give your students the opportunity to work and to collaborate together in order to learn and to grow from each other. Because Martin, Rocio, and teachers out there listening, when we develop these kind of activities, that situation will boost the confidence and the self-esteem of our students. And you know that when we have Martin and Rocio, when we have students who are motivated, students who are excited in our classes, we are going to have learning. Motivation will bring learning to the class. That is my first invitation. My second invitation is, if you want to implement these kind of activities, we're going to go again to the Eco universe. But in the Eco universe, we're not going to make emphasis on the evaluation tools that we checked in technique number one. No, we're going to make emphasis, or we're going to click on Eco Teams. Eco Teams. When we click on Eco Teams, we are going to find everything that you were speaking about some minutes ago. You were speaking about listening. You were speaking about videos, Martin, Rocio, and teachers. You were speaking about resources. Well, all those resources to have an impact on the listening skill, on the oral production, on reading and writing, you can find all the material here in Eco Kids. I'm going to give you more examples. Look, Eco Teams, in Eco Teams, you're going to find topics like this one. Listen, what's the matter? Fears and challenges and teenage problems. Now think about your students working in a collaborative work in your classroom, outside the classroom, in order to answer and to accomplish this task. Look at episode number 11. It's about friends. And our students love to have friends. They all have friends. And when in the classroom, you ask them, when you play audios, when you play videos about friends, they will have a very good time, okay? That was number one. Martin, what do you think about number one? Good? Did you like number one, Teacher Rocio?
I love it. Very good. Let's work together, of course.
Collaborative task for the language classroom. Number two, this is what we are doing, providing interaction models. Teacher Martin, Teacher Rocio, and all the teachers, look at this. We need to plan tasks that promote interaction in our language classroom. And you know why? because interaction encourages learners to speak their thoughts, learners' engagement and participation in the class, and learners to develop their receptive. Remember, teacher Rocio, you were speaking about listening. Teacher Rocio was speaking about listening, and I was giving the example of listening, receptive, and then teacher Martin was speaking about
production. Production.
Yes, sir. Yes, Martin, we're going to find activities to promote interaction in the class, not only to develop the receptive, but also the productive skills. And here I'm sharing with you some ideas. Look, loud reading. Oh, I'm sorry. Loud reading, collaborative learning, discussions, storytelling, interactive sessions, and this one. I forgot the pronunciation. I'm sorry, but you're going to help me, please. I want to invite to all the people who are listening, who are watching, including Martin and Rocio, look at this one. It says Solilo. I'm kidding. I don't want to give you the correct pronunciation because I'm sure that maybe you have not seen this exercise before, this activity, but it is one of the best activities for your language classroom, for you as a teacher to provide interaction in your class. I'm not going to give you the pronunciation. Please go to the chat and help me with the pronunciation of this, but I'm going to tell you what this is about. You know what, teachers? This is about helping all your students to speak out their thoughts. That's the activity. Storytelling, role plays, conversations with learners, and a bunch of activities for your class. Teacher Martin and Teacher Rocio, look at all the interaction models or activities. Give me one that you have implemented in your class and one that you have not, but that you're going to implement from now on. Ladies first. Teacher Rocio, Super Teacher Rocio.
Okay, storytelling. I love storytelling because I think that is an excellent way to encourage the students with the topic of the class.
Okay, that's storytelling. Now, one that you would like to implement in your class to provide interaction.
According to the tool that I can look here, I can see exactly because I'm looking from my cell phone.
Okay, no, that's okay. It's okay. Don't worry, dear. Don't worry. But I'm going to invite you to implement soliloquies. Okay, soliloquies. Oh, wow, that's amazing in your class. At the end, you can have my WhatsApp, and I can share with you some more activities like this one to implement in your class. Okay, dear teacher Rocio.
But I can see that loud reading too. Yes, I can. I'm looking for loud reading. It's an activity that I think that I can implement in my class in order to wake up maybe the motivation of the student, because some of them like to participate. Yes, so it is an excellent way that all of the students participate in the class with a loud reading.
Nice. Now we go to Super Teacher Martin. Super Teacher Martin, one interaction model that you have implemented in your class.
I have implemented the interview. La Normal Superior de María, I used to have, until pandemic start, I have a kind of plan name, a strategy name, English native speaker in the classroom. I live in a touristic place, and there are some gringos. I call them gringos, and I invite them to the class to talk. The students prepare some questions. The gringo attended to the classroom, and they share as a kind of interview. In that way, I try to improve the communicative skill. But in this case, from ECHO, I'm going to talk about interactive sessions. I guess it's a kind of a face-to-face students with teachers, between students, among teachers and students. I guess it's a good way to improve the communicative skill.
Yeah, it is true, Teacher Martin and everybody, because remember the example that I was giving you at the beginning. Listening is the skill that in my class is kind of it's the most challenging skill, something that I want to implement, and I want to have, based on the resources from ECHO, I want to have interaction in my class. Well, look at this. Can you see the famous Marimonda? Can you see a Marimonda here? Can you see?
From Barranquilla.
Yes, from Barranquilla. For all the people who are watching and you are in the coast in Barranquilla, look at the Marimonda. And you know why I'm showing you the Marimonda today? Because in Eco Teams, one of my favorite activity from Eco Teams is La Cápsula Radial número 3. And the name of this pill, I call it pill, it's my band. My band. I took this activity for my class to promote interaction, to provide interaction in the class. And I had my students speaking English outside the classroom and inside the classroom. This is, if you don't know it, please go to Echo, download my band, and you will see that in your class, your students will be able to interact. And this is the best part. Teachers, look at the following pictures. Look at the following picture. I'm sorry. Look at this. The picture on the left is Jonathan Vela some years ago. This is me. Look at my face. You know why I was so sad? Because as Jeremy Harmer, remember what Jeremy Harmer proposes about teacher talking time and student talking time. And he also speaks about interaction between teacher and student. Well, my classes some time ago were based on interaction related to teacher, student, teacher, student, teacher, student, teacher, student. But look at the Marimonda. The Marimonda is Jonathan Vela after implementing interactive activities in the class, because now the interaction was student, 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 student. And the teacher was just, can you see one of my favorite pictures? No, I'm not going to show you one of my favorite pictures from the class yet. Not now. This is what we're going to do. I'm just going to show you this picture. Jonathan Vela before and Jonathan Vela after implementing interactive activities. Don't you feel excited? Don't you feel excited when your students speak in the class, Teacher Martin and Teacher Rocio, but not to you, but to their own classmates?
Yeah, it's terrific. It's terrific when you can see that they are interacting, they talk each other, and they talk about their topics of interest.
Yeah, good. And well, I really hope that you have enjoyed number 2, that it was related to providing interaction, because we're about to finish now. We are coming to the conclusion, and Let's Work Together has also number 3, that is my favorite. Interaction as the springboard for communication. Jonathan Vela, at the beginning, very happy. He was very excited. I'm sorry. Now, before, he was kind of sad because he was always talking to the students, and the interaction in his classroom was based on teacher, student, no more. But when he found about interactive classes, this is me jumping. Remember the wall, Teacher Martin, Teacher Rocio?
Yes,
remember that wall?
Of course.
How do you jump that wall to reach your students, to promote communication? I'm not going to read anything. I'm just going to let you know that if you design tasks that promote interaction, that promote communication in real life, real situations in your class, believe me, you teachers are going to help your students improve their communicative abilities. And I'm excited to have Martin and Rocio in my master class, because Martin was speaking about listening. About oral production, and Rocio was speaking about listening, and then finding out in this master class that if we implement communicative tasks in our classroom, our students are going to develop those communicative abilities. This is just amazing. Okay, please, teachers, create situations in which your students are, in which communication is needed in the class. And now we're coming to the end, and I want to share with you this picture. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. Look at this picture. Look. I don't want to say anything. But I want everybody, Martin and Rocio, I want you to look at the following picture. Look at this picture. Implementing collaborative work tasks in your language classroom will improve interaction and communication. I want to invite all of you to go to your link, to the chat, and using the hashtag #ICanSee, I want you to tell me what you can see. Okay, remember, hashtag I can see. And then I'm going to ask Teacher Rocio. Teacher Rocio, what can you see?
Hashtag I can see the interaction between the students produce communication at the end. An excellent communication can produce interaction too. So they are related, is one of them.
Perfect. Teacher Martin, what can you see? The ones in the at home, please. What can you see? What can you see? Teacher
Yeah.
Martin.
I can see happy people because they are solving problems by themselves using English.
Nice, 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 nice. And
Very
where's the teacher? Where's the teacher? Where's the teacher? Where's the teacher? Teacher
The guy,
Rocio,
the guy,
Teacher Martin.
The
yeah, the
teacher
guy who's
is
happy.
in the middle of the
It's you.
chart, and he's very
It's you.
happy.
The teacher is you.
I know, Teacher Martin, Rocio, that's me. I tried to put more freckles, but it was impossible. But yeah, that is my emoji, Teacher Rocio and Teacher Martin. This is the teacher, Jonathan Vela, Teacher
That is
Martin, Teacher
Your avatar.
Jennifer.
Yeah.
That is, yes, sir, that is my
Yeah.
avatar. This is not Jonathan Vela. This is any teacher in his or in her class when students communicate, when we bring appropriate resources to our class to promote interaction and communication. John, please share with us, share with Rocio, with me, with Martin, what people are writing in the chat. What can they see?
Tell us about it.
Okay, before I jump into the hashtag I can see, I was about in the previous part, I was about to say one of my favorite definitions of a cooperative or collaborative learning. And pay attention to this. It's a process in which each individual learns more than what he would do by himself as a fruit of the interaction with the other members. So definitely cooperative or collaborative learning, it's more efficient because we learn more. Now, hashtag I can see, Fabio Danilo Avila says, hashtag I can see joy while learning.
Nice.
But
joy. Yeah.
Gladys Morales, I can see happy people learning English.
Yeah,
Roy, I can see real interaction.
There you go.
There you go.
Is that true? Is that what people are writing in the chat? Is what they can see?
Of course, it is.
Nice. I'm super excited.
And I have more comments. Andrea Herrera, Medellin Herrera, I can see friendly students helping each other. Gladys Morales, I can see collaborative work to reach some tasks. Maria Teresa Rondon, I can see a very interactive class. David Reyes Lopez, I can see Teacher Rocio. Hashtag I can see Jonathan and the other people having fun.
Okay, good.
Yes, that's the idea.
Yeah,
and also Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Also, guys and ladies, also with these images, we can assume that they are building culture.
Okay.
They are building culture because they are learning about emotion, they are learning about values, they are learning about respect each other.
Nice. Hey, John, you know why I'm so excited? Yes, Teacher Rocio, tell me.
I'm sorry. Also, we can see not only the satisfaction of the teacher, but the satisfaction of the students too, because it is an excellent way to break with this interaction.
Yes, Teacher Rocio and Martin and John and all the comments out there, people who are chatting, we are happy because you got what we wanted to share with you today. The teacher is in the middle. Look, the teacher is in the middle, and of course the material. Look at the material behind the teacher. That is taken from Eco Universe. That was the one that I was telling you. That is my favorite episodio, la cápsula número 3, about my band. And all the students interacting, having a good time outside and inside the classroom. John, thank you very much, John. So, John, what's next? What's next? I wish I could stay here forever.
Forever, yeah, we
sharing,
would love that.
but there's no time. There's no time, John. So, what's next?
You know, there's three things. First, teachers, remember that you can get your certificate by completing the registration form. On the upper side of the chat, there is a banner, there is a link. You click there and you register your information so you can get your certificate. That's one. Two, we're about to finish. We're 30 minutes away from finishing this masterclass, and we really need your questions. We already have one, okay? But we want to encourage you teachers out there to type your questions, write your questions.
I have one for the end.
That's a second thing. Remember to write your questions. And number three, Jonathan, it's time to move to the next section. Okay. You're going to share 3 action steps, right?
Yes, sir.
So, hold on. Take an action. Right here.
Okay, now it is time to speak about the action steps. But I don't know. I think it would be better to have Martin and to have Rocio here with me in this part of the action steps. You know why? Because I want you to infer. Rocio and Martin. So technique number 1. Remember, technique number 1 was about assessing students before starting. Technique number 2, exploring all the resources. Evaluating the most appropriate resources. And number 3, taking these resources to my class in order to promote collaborative work. Yes, because if we have collaborative work, we can promote interaction. And if there is interaction, there will be communication. So 3 techniques. I just want you to guess, Teacher Martin and Teacher Rocio. If those are the 3 techniques, what can be the action step? What can be something for you to take to your house? Let me start, ladies first, of course. So dear teacher, super teacher Rocio, please tell me. What do you think?
Okay, the action steps is a hard question. But the action step for the assessment, yes?
Okay, something related to assessment. Okay, good.
The assessment to prove the students' knowledge through different assessment that we can apply. For example, with tests, with oral presentations. I think that when we ask about the situations of their context and the idea that they try to talk about that using the vocabulary that they recognize and they know.
Perfect. That is the action step number 1. So Martin, you're going to be in charge of action step number 2, okay? Because in action step number 1, it was beautifully explained. It was amazingly explained by teacher Rocio. That is exactly the action step. Teachers, action step number 1. First, make an action plan based on your students' needs. Remember the protocol, remember the test, remember to follow all this. That's number 1, the protocol for the teachers. Number 2, select the test. And number 3 is design your action plan. So I'm going to share with all of you, with all the people who are watching, who are listening, who are here, for everybody, I am going to share with you this action plan. This is, remember, I'm just sharing with you here like the first part, but this is more structured, more elaborated, but you can adapt it. You can make changes. So number 1, action plan for all of us. An action plan based on our students' needs, okay? Would you like to have it? Would you like to have it, Martin? Would you like to have this action plan?
Of course.
Okay, so I'm going to share it with you.
For communicative skill, for improve the communicative skill.
Good.
Thank you.
Martin, what can be the action step number 2? Action step number 2.
I go to the resources in order to choose one.
Perfect. Perfect. In order to choose one, our second action step or the invitation is exploring and evaluating different resources. Right, Martin and Rocio?
Yes, of course.
Exploring and evaluating different resources. Step number one, everybody go to Eco Universe. Remember that this is the Eco Universe. Some days ago, I was working with a friend and we were exploring Eco, and I said, Eco is amazing, but I have to say Eco Web Universe. And he told me, like, Marvel Universe? And I said, no, it's not about Marvel Universe. It's about Eco Universe. And from that day on, I always think about Eco as a universe. So step number one, the second, we're in the second action step. But inside the second action step, step number one, go to Eco. And number two, use this criteria. Use the rubric that I'm going to share with all of you in order to explore, but also to evaluate and then implement meaningful resources for your language classroom. So remember, number one, I'm going to have my action plan. Number two, with that action plan, I'm going to go online, or I'm going to go to Eco or anywhere to explore, to evaluate, so I can implement the most appropriate and the most meaningful activities for my classes. Okay? Now, Rocio and Martin, action step number three. What do you think is going to be action step number three? No?
Try to work. Students work together according with the you put the students to work together according with their interests, ages, context, taken into account of this aspect.
The collaborative work.
Collaborative work
here.
But what can I give you? What can I give you? What will be the action step? This is the action step. So number three, implement the meaningful resources that we were speaking about before in order to promote collaborative work. If we have collaborative work, we have interaction. And if we have interaction, we have communication in the language classroom. Teacher Martin, Teacher Rocio, and everybody listening and watching. In other words, the action step number three is this one. I am going to share with you a bank of collaborative tasks that you can take to your language classroom in order to promote interaction and communication. Those are the three action steps that I want to share with you. So now, please, everybody, go to the chat. We're about to finish. This is one of the last ones. Hashtag I will take. What would you like to take from the master class today? Would you like to take the action plan, and why? Would you like to take the rubric to evaluate the appropriate material? Or number three, I'm going to take the bank of material and collaborative tasks for my language classroom. What do you take? Please help me in the chat. What will you take? And John, I know that John is ready to answer all the questions. John, be careful with what people will take from the class, because now I'm going to ask first to John and to Rocio and to Martin. Rocio, what will you take from the master class today?
The bank of the material. It's very interesting. I think that I can find everything that I need.
Okay, you're going to take. So we have a message. Your classmate, your classmates. I'm sorry, your colleagues from Fusagasugá, from your institution, from your school. They are listening to you and they are watching. Teacher Rocio, next week you're going to have class, and your colleagues will have class as well. But now you have something to share with them. Please talk to them. Tell them something from this master class for them. What will you give them?
Okay, I'm going to give them the first of all the information that I get here, and the idea to use the material that they can find here in order to take advantage, the most advantage that they can find here.
Nice, nice, Rocio. Because we have class tomorrow. I have class tomorrow, but I have
Oh,
class on
yes.
Tuesday. And the idea is that everything that we cover today, well, at least one, not everything. I'm sorry, not everything, but that at least we can get something. We can take something from this master class for my class tomorrow or for my class on Tuesday. So thank you very much, Rocio. I am sure that your colleagues from your school are very proud of you, and they are going to be waiting for you. They are going to be waiting for you. When we finish the master class tomorrow, you will go to the school and they will be like, bueno, Rocío, comparta pues qué fue lo que le dieron allá. So, Rocío,
Of
that
course.
is a promise. It is a promise that you have for your friends, okay? Martin, what will you take from this master class to share with your colleagues at the school?
I agree with Rocio. I'm going to take the bank of materials, very interesting activities, very interesting materials in order to work and improve the English of our students. And also, I continue working. We'll continue working with the textbooks. Way to go, English, please. Many materials and contextualize, and with a lot of culture. I remember. I remind them when you are talking about animals with the students. They talk about animals from this context, not about giraffes, not about rhinos or about elephants. It's about the pink dolphin, about the spectacle bear, about the nature in Colombia, Santa Marta, the mountains. So it's very beautiful. The topics are very beautiful and interesting.
Okay, I have a challenge for Martin and Rocio. You know that I love challenges. I am one of your colleagues. I work with you in Rio Negro. I am from Medellin. Well, actually, I didn't mention that.
Okay, good. You are invited. You are invited to Rio Negro to eat arepa.
Yeah, of course, of course. And but Rocio, my grandma is from Fusagasugá. So Tatiana, our friend Tatiana, she is living in Rio Negro. So we have a big connection with this group of teachers today. That's amazing. Teacher Rocio and Teacher Martin, I am one of your colleagues from your school. And then I'm going to be calling you later on. And imagine that we finished the master class. Okay, we finished now. It's 8 p.m. Okay, and I'm going to give you a call. Hey, Martin, how are you, my friend? I saw you in the master class. You were very excited. Rocio, I saw you happy and excited. But I need you to help me with something. I have class tomorrow, and I had some ideas. But after observing you, after listening to you, I changed my mind. I want to do something different in my class. But I need you to share something with me. Send me something through WhatsApp, please. What will you send me, Rocio and Martin? Send me something for tomorrow. What?
I think that I'm going to tell you about my experience because I have to change my mind about the way as I teach my classes. So I'm going to try to apply new strategies for tomorrow. I'm going to look what is the appropriate for the groups that I have tomorrow. And I'm going to send to you a message telling you my experience.
Nice, nice. Martin, wait, before you give me the answer, we're going to call John and we're going to ask John what our friends, our English teachers, to all the people who are watching right now, we want to know what they are writing in the chat. Hashtag I will take. But John is our like how can I say this different from a bridge? John is the one who's going to connect this question with the information that people are giving in the chat. Hello, John. Are you there, John? What?
I am here. I'm here.
Okay. What will
I'm
they
here.
say?
Not a bridge anymore. Marisol Vallejo Narváez. Hashtag. Torco Peñaranda. Okay. I will take. The bank. Sorry, Angelica Benitez. It's so many messages. Angelica Benitez. I will take the bank of collaborative tasks.
Okay.
Toco Peñaranda. I will take the three of them. All of them.
Nice.
Danilo Avila. I will take many tips you shared and everything I can from your teaching experience and knowledge. Good. Nice, and you know, Andrea Medellin Herrera. I would like the British Council and the Ministry of Education to give Andrea Medellin a special certificate, which is very participative. I will take the Bank of Collaborative Tax. Luz Davera, I will take the three of them too. Leonardo, the three options. Pilar Garcia, I will take the interaction tasks. Maria Teresa Rondon, I will take from this masterclass the rubrics.
The rubrics, lovely, 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 lovely. John, Rocio, and Martin, don't you feel like people in the chat and including you guys will have something for the class today? It's like I went to the master class. I listen, I share with them in the chat or listening to them. But I feel like with all the comments, they have something for their class tomorrow, something for the class on Tuesday. Don't you feel it? Don't you feel it, Martin?
Yes, I feel it because with the comments we recognize, we smell the motivation they have about this topic and about the master class we are in. It's very, very, very good and happy about it. The motivation is perfect.
Yeah. And I want to thank you, Rocio, Martin, and John, because your excitement, your motivation, your comments, your happiness, that was amazing for the class.
Yours.
John, something else?
No. I was saying it's not only ours. You are the expert and your main guest today here, besides our teachers, of course. But we really want to recognize, Jonathan, that your enthusiasm, your energy, is bringing us together and making everybody participate. It's been a very interesting master class. So, Jonathan, I don't know if you're ready for the next section.
Yeah. We're ready. I'm ready. Teacher Martin, Teacher Rocio, are you ready for the last session?
Of course.
Yes,
of course.
Almost ready to the last. We've been talking about the eco universe, but there's something I would like to share. We would like to share with all our teachers out there, and it's eco teens, especially eco teens. And after that, the recap. Here we go.
The recap. Okay.
What is ECO Teens? Well, ECO stands for English for Colombia, and it is an educational radio program designed to promote English language learning while exploring different fields like technology, arts, tourism, and sports. The program is designed for teens and presented by teens, Rosita, Aleja, Ana, and Lucho, together with Julian, their English teacher. In the program, they share their life projects and help other young people see the benefits of speaking English. Access other EcoTeam resources at eco.colombiaaprende.edu.co or just click on the link in the description box below.
The recap. Look at me in that car. And I want to invite all of you to my car. And that car is going to become a bus. And in that bus, all of us, we're going to travel together. And we're going to travel through this whole experience of teaching and learning. Because when we teach, we also learn. So this is my invitation. That was us today. Look at us today. And then we started working on getting to know our students. We talked about how important it is to make an action plan for my class. Step number one, right? Step number one as a teacher. Step number two, a whole new world of resources. And I have a bunch of resources to select from. But first, it is important to evaluate the material, to evaluate the resources so I can take the most appropriate resources to my class. Finally, step number 3 today, let's work together. Dear friends, dear colleagues, dear English teachers listening to our master class today, we need to work together. We need to go to our classroom in order to implement meaningful resources that are going to have a big impact on our students' communication and interaction. In that way, look at the last part of the stair. Step number 1, number 2, number 3, And look at number 4. Our objective as English teachers, it is to offer our students the best. It is to offer our students an enjoyable experience. When they go to the classroom, when they say, for example, I have class with teacher Rocio, I have class with teacher Martin, with Andrea Herrera, I guess is the teacher who has been very participative today, to Jenny, there was a teacher, Jenny there, to all the teachers, I want to go to that class, because in that class, my teacher provides an environment, resources to help me speak more. And this is when our students feel like what they are, because they are champions. They are champions. They can do it. And we as English teachers, we can do it. We are English teachers. This is what we studied for. This is what we can do best for our students. Well, I don't know, John. If we have some other comments in the chat. If there are some people saying something, I don't know, John, please help me out. And before John comes here, because he's taking a look at all the comments, teacher Mark,
Here I am.
hey, what do we have something else in the chat about the recap, about the steps, about becoming or offering our students the best?
Yeah, definitely. Karen Ramirez says we can take advantages from each one in order to do something amazing. Gloria Rodriguez says, I'm motivated to teach English language now.
Oh, nice.
Lilia Oliva Lopez, I'm learning very much. She says hi from Puerto Umbria School. Janet Gomez
Nice.
Victoria, thank you so much for this interesting masterclass. It was very meaningful. Andres Amaya, no, this is not for this is another thing. This is another thing. Okay, okay. Just before we go on to the question and answer section, Jonathan, please,
Yes,
teachers, remember, if you want to get the certificate, go and register your information. On the upper part of the chat, there is a banner. It says Colombia Aprende. There's a blue banner. Click there. There's a link. Register your information. You get your certificate. Also, it's very important that some people are asking us this question. Where can I get these videos and this material? Wait, remember, this is a YouTube channel from Colombia Aprende, okay? So all the videos, if you go there to Colombia Aprende, or you look for the information online on YouTube, and you write type master classes, you will get all the master classes from last year and this year, including this one. This stays here in the YouTube channel from Colombia Aprende. Don't forget that. So I guess it's time for the last section of the masterclass. Jonathan, questions and answers.
Yes. Questions and answers. Questions and answers.
Yes, here we
Let's go to questions and answers. Okay. Well, so I have. Can I do something different, John? Can I do something?
Yeah,
different?
no. We are in the last part of the section.
Okay.
Of the session. So here we go. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. I have a challenge. I have a challenge for Martin and for Rocio. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you have a question. So please, everybody in the chat.
We have one here. Yes. But
okay. Perfect.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay. Hey guys, if you're watching and if you're listening, if you enjoy and if you have a question for us, please go to the chat and John is going to be helping us with the chat. But now I'm going to ask Martin if you have a question for you, but I have a challenge for Teacher Rocio. Teacher Rocio, I have a challenge for you. We still have, I don't know, we have 4 minutes, 4 minutes. In 4 minutes, I want you to take one of the 3 takeaways from the action plans, the rubric, the action plan, or the bank of activities, and adapt it to your class. Do something with that action plan and you can share it with us. Are you up to the challenge, Teacher Rocio? Do you understand the challenge?
Of course, of course.
Perfect.
4 minutes?
So 4 minutes. Take 4 minutes. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
So now I'm going to make emphasis on Martin. Martin, do you have any question, something that you want to know while people ask the questions in the chat?
Yes, of course. I have a question. You talked about some tests for diagnosis.
Yes, sir.
These tests come or are designed as ICFES style, or the way the ICFES evaluate the students, because one of the fails sometimes is the students, they don't recognize how ICFES evaluate. The idea is that this kind of test, can you tell us if these kind of tests are coming or come according with the ICFES style they evaluate the students in 11th grade and 10th grade?
That is the best question somebody has asked me today, Martin. That was a very good question. You know why it is so interesting, in my opinion? Because it is connected to our needs, to our context. And we as public school teachers at our school, we need to consider that need, because at the end of 11th grade, our students are going to have the test and we want them to make or to get the best results. And then we talk about assessment, about exams, and then we say, man, is it possible? Is it connected? The answer, Martin, is yes, of course. Just as the Be the One challenge, remember the app? Remember the app? The app is also connected. The part of evaluation is connected to saber, pruebas saber, okay?
Very good.
Everything plus, Martin, we're going to find formative assessment tools. And those tools are going to help our students to become more familiar with the pruebas saber. That is our objective. We want to implement evaluation, assessment, or tests or activities that can help our students be familiarized or be connected to the pruebas saber. All of this,
okay.
Martin.
Good news. Good news. Thank you.
Yes, good news.
Good news.
Okay, John. I don't know. I see Rocio. Look at Rocio. She is like, I don't know what.
Rocio is working.
She's working really hard. Okay. Hey, John, any question?
Yes, we have a question here. Oh my God, I got it ready here. From Fabio Castro.
Let's see.
How can I motivate my students? Or how can we motivate our students? Most of them think English is very difficult to learn.
Okay. That's
a question.
John.
General
John,
and not a very easy one. So go ahead.
Yeah. It's not an easy question. It's not an easy question to answer. You know why? Because all the contexts are different.
Yes.
All the contexts are different. We work in different contexts. But can I have again the name of the teacher?
Yes, definitely. Fabio Castro.
Fabio. Dear teacher Fabio, listen to this. Remember technique number 2. The technique number 2 was about resources. And the idea is for us as English teachers to select the most appropriate resources, thinking or considering or taking into account our students' needs, preferences, likes, and dislikes. I'm going to give you an example. This is something very personal. I'm really sorry. I don't like reggaeton. I don't like reggaeton music.
Okay.
But in one assessment that I did with my students, I found that they love reggaeton. And then I took the biography of a famous reggaeton singer, and they had a blast. My students had a blast with this. And then I started motivating them. Hey guys, listen, English is not about topics that we know. If you like this kind of music, we're going to have a very good exercise, a collaborative task in this class. And I remember that class, teacher Fabio, speaking with my students about reggaeton, then I connected that class with Eco Teens. And in Eco Teens, I found my band, and that was a very interesting radio class. And students were like, uy, profe, bueno, sí, es un poquito difícil, pero eso es muy interesante. And they were working together. They were having a good time working with their friends, listening to that Eco radio that you can find in Eco Teens. So teacher Fabio, my answer for you is look for the most appropriate resources according to their needs, about their preferences, about their likes and dislikes. Because when you do it, believe me, they start being like, bueno, es difícil, pero me interesa. I like it, teacher. Me gusta. Vamos a ver, teacher, what can we do in this class? So, teacher Fabio, motivation can be improved. We can have an impact on motivation with the material that we bring to the class. Okay? Thank you, John, very much. Now the challenge. Rocio.
It's 6 p.m.
It's
Jonathan,
6
what are we
p.m.?
going to do?
Yes.
Time is over.
We don't have
But I'm ready with my challenge.
Jonathan, bring the merienda. Bring the merienda.
Okay. Teacher Rocio, what did you select? What did you select?
Listening. It's a skill that I
Listening.
think that.
Okay. Good.
Okay,
Good.
give
Good.
you-
Perfect.
1 minute, very
minute,
quickly.
1
Let's do
minute.
this because we have to.
I'm going to
close
read.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the situation? 90% of my students got a score of 50 on 100.
Okay.
The goal, at least 80% of my students improve their listening skill with the resources from EcoWeb.
Nice.
Okay.
Strategies. Bring at least one listening exercise from EcoWeb every class.
Okay.
Good.
Another, assign listening tasks from EcoWeb to my students to promote English outside the class.
Nice,
Okay.
Teacher Rocio. I'm super excited of listening. I'm sorry that we don't have time to finish, but send it to
Okay.
me so I can give you some feedback. Okay, John.
All right.
That's it. We're finished.
We're
Thumbs up.
done.
Continue, teacher. Continue working with optimism.
Okay.
Optimism.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for
Hey,
the invitation.
you know what? I really want to thank you, our guest teachers, of course. This is not the same without you, and of course, Jonathan, for being the expert today. It was very energetic. I felt all the energy throughout the whole 2 hours. It's just time flies, you know.
Yeah.
Very fast.
And you know, we have our teacher saying more work. No, more work. It's time to rest. Thank you. Thanks all the teachers out there on the
Bye.
YouTube streaming session. Thank you very much, all your participation, your questions, and all. Somebody asked a question just to finish. Is it somebody? Karen Ramirez says, "I would really appreciate if these meetings could happen a little more frequently. They are very useful." So I would answer Karen and all the teachers. Please, we're getting together every week. So today we're focusing more on high school and these EcoWeb tools. Next week it's going to be more focused on elementary school, and that's it. Every Thursday, same time, we'll be meeting here. Next Thursday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. as always, we'll be here. Okay, thank you everybody. Thank you to the Ministry of Education and the British
Thank you.
Council.
Thank you very much. You're very kind, and I hope to accompany you next Thursday on the class. Thank you.
Next Thursday,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Next
everybody.
Thursday, yeah. Next
Goodbye.
Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you very
Stay
much.
tuned.
Bye.
Next,
Thank you very much.
we have
Okay.
some very interesting masterclass too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.